Changing minds one thought at a time.
Hello, welcome to the Changing Minds online show. I'm Dr. Akina Finch, and
this is Jessica Leichtweisz, and welcome you tonight. Thank you so much for calling in and listening online.
Well, today we're going to be talking about creation boards. A lot of us know of them as vision boards, but Jessica will be talking to us today about why they're creation boards and how they can benefit our lives. So, Jessica, exactly what is a creation board?
That's a great question. A creation board is pretty much the same thing as a vision board. So to start off, what classically is known as a vision board is when you have a bunch of pictures or a bunch of sayings and you put them somewhere and you post them so you see them every day, and they kind of serve as a reminder of what you are working for or what you're doing. And I had a vision board. And the definition of vision, and I'm actually just on dictionary.com right now, is being able to see. And I think being able to see something is very important. Last week we spoke about not being able to create the life of our dreams if we couldn't see what that looks like. But I like to take it a step further. So I first made my vision board when I realized that I wanted more from my life. And I went and I got a bunch of newspaper clippings and magazine articles, and I cut out all these pictures and sayings and words, and I posted them up on my wall. And I saw them every day. And I knew what the life I, wanted to look like. But then my mindset started to change, and I started to realize, well, you know what? It's not only about seeing it. It's not only about being able to visualize it, but I need to actively start creating all the things that I see that I want. And my mindset changed from this being a vision board to a creation board. So what is a creation board? A creation board is some type of visual picture or manifestation of the things that you are actively creating. So right now as I speak, I'm looking at my vision board. It's always in front of me, pretty much wherever I go, because I have so many of them, even portable ones that I bring with me. But the one I have right now, I'm sitting at my laptop and I'm looking at pictures of places I want to travel, maybe things I want to be able to do, people I want to help, pictures of athletes whose body I want to be able to have a body that functions as well as theirs. And those are the things that I'm creating right
now. Awesome. So tell me how that could help us in our lives today. How does that motivate us by having this creation board?
Okay, that's a great question. So, and I gave a little bit of background about myself last week. And last week, if you remember from last week's call, that I had said I got to a point in my life where I realized at the age of 26 that I had stopped creating, I'd stopped progressing. And I was living a pretty fantastic life, but I stopped trying to make it better. And I stopped trying to acquire more, have more, be able to do more, have more experiences. And I just kind of hit a plateau. And the first step if you're in a plateau in your life, the very first step in getting out of that plateau and really living an extraordinary life. Because, we don't want to live good lives. We want to live extraordinary lives. We want to live lives of abundance and of happiness, is to really just start thinking about what is it that would make me happy? What is it that would make me fulfilled? And then to start getting it somewhere, putting it somewhere in pictures, putting it down in paper, putting it down in words if you're someone who is more auditory or more linguistic than you are visual. But you need to be seeing this every day. And why? Well, why do I need to look at this every day? The things that you look at the most, that you spend the most time focusing on, will come to pass. So that's really, what I look at every time, I am looking at my vision board, whether it's behind my laptop whether it's in my wall, in my bedroom, whether it's not, I have vision balls in my mirror in my bathroom. These are the things that I'm working towards and I'm working for. These are the things I want to attract into my life. So, everything that we do, everything we put out into the universe, we wind up attracting and finding the resources to get those things. So when we are visualizing and we're seeing this on a regular basis, then we're going to find out that these things start to come into our lives by visualizing them.
Okay. I mean, that's a great thought. Visualizing it and then making the vision happen. You can't make the vision happen if there is no vision. So that makes perfect sense. I love that.
Akina, do you have a vision board or a creation board?
When I was living in Colorado, I did. I had it on my wall when I was a career counselor, and I put a lot of affirmations and quotes and power words and words that successful people use versus words that unsuccessful people use. And I would show this to my soldiers because I help soldiers transition into the civilian world. This is where you want to be. These are what you want to do. This is how you motivate yourself. And eventually they started creating vision boards, and it started really helping them out because they had somewhere to reach. They had a goal to obtain. And as they would leave into the civilian sector, it was so wonderful to see that they had taken that vision board to the next level. They had taken the vision and made it into a reality. And I was always so proud to hear when they had done that. So I see the benefits of the vision board, yes. I need to renew mine, though. So how do you start a vision board?
Okay, well, that's a great question. And, how do you start, and like I said, I do like to call them creation boards, and I'm going to take some time now because I didn't in the beginning to really discuss why I like to call them creation boards. So, we said a vision is something that you can see, but creation is a little bit more active of a verb. If something is creation, you're creating something. You're actively taking steps towards making it happen. And I like something you said. You said that your soldiers, they took it a step further than being a vision, and they made it a reality. Well, that's what a creation board is. A creation board is when you say, you know what, this is my vision, but I'm going to actually make that vision come true, and you make that decision. And it is important, like I said, that you are looking at the things that you want, because the things that you focus on are the things that you're going to bring into your life. So, how do you start a vision board? I got actually some plain white paper, some 8x11 normal computer paper, and what I did was I went through magazines. Now, the first day I spent a couple hours doing this, and I got a whole bunch of magazines. I happen to have a lot of old magazines laying around, but a lot of people, may not. If you don't, you can go to libraries. A lot of times they will give you the recycled periodicals. You can go to friends or ask them, family members, ask them, do you have any extra magazines? Or, go to the supermarket and get a couple magazines. And what I did was I started looking through just the pictures, and I cut out any pictures or headlines, words that popped out as something I wanted to have or travel. And I do still have one of my first papers, and one of them is a picture of a beach. And I love the beach, and I am definitely working for the financial freedom of being able to just, whenever I want, to be able to go to the beach. And so I put that on my creation board, that I am working on creating the financial freedom to be able to have that and do that on a regular basis. And, I put up a picture of Peru because, this is from a travel magazine. I've always wanted to travel to Peru. So now I'm looking at, a picture of a beautiful, looks like a river boat on, and it says Peru, Empire Peru, Hidden Treasures. This was a headline from a magazine. And Montreal is another place I've always wanted to go. So headlines like hope, success, dream, beauty. And I look at all these things every day. Now, it's important to always be adding to our creation boards, or our vision boards, if you want to call them. Now, like I said, I started off from the beginning, and I just made this one board, and I hung it in the place where I work. And I think if you're going to get started and you have never had a creation board before, then what you should really do is either get some plain white paper or get a poster board, and you'll need more than one piece of plain white paper if you do it that way. And just start cutting out pictures. You can write things down and hang it where you're going to see it the most. So, or hang it for wherever you're looking for. So let's say for you that if you have a problem with perhaps, your body weight or your body image and you want to get healthy, then you might want to put in front of your mirror images of bodies you want to be able to emulate or to have, or you want to be able to, if you want to take a decision to eat healthy and exercise, you may want to put in front of your mirror healthy foods or people exercising. If you want to have some sort of financial freedom and success, you might want to put pictures of, places you want to travel or things you want to be able to purchase from having that success. And you may want to put that in front of your computer, in front of your, main area where you're working. So that would be where I would tell someone this is what you should get started at. Now, a lot of people who are calling in probably are going to say, well, I already have that. I already do that. And I like to tell you, I add to my creation board every single day. And I do have an assortment of magazines I keep, and I actually wind up just getting sent to my house just for my creation board. But every single day, no matter how busy my day was, I always get one more picture and I add it to my creation board. And I can't tell you how valuable the tool that's been in helping me to really create what I want. And I have my creation boards everywhere now. I have affirmations on the top of my laptop taped to them. I have affirmations on the side of my microwave, on my refrigerator. I have pictures behind my computer. I have them actually tiled onto my ceiling above my bed. The last thing I see when I go to bed at night is what I'm creating, and the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning is what I'm creating. I have them in my car, all the different folders that carry my various papers for my home business or for my full-time job. They all have different visions on them, and they're specific. So, in my gym bag, I have a little key ring where I flip through them, and they are pictures of athletes doing things I want to be able to do. And when I'm at the gym and I'm not feeling particularly motivated, I'll look in my gym bag and I'll get that key ring out, and I'll look at those pictures, and it'll motivate me. So that's what my creation boards look like.
Okay. So if someone was just starting out, do you have maybe the step-by-step version that someone would follow, or is there just any way that anybody can do this?
It's really very personal, and it really depends upon you. I don't know if there's really a step-to-step version, but the first thing you really need to do is just to get started. And like I said, you can choose to if getting a poster board seems very overwhelming, get something smaller, but find some sort of, paper or poster, place it in a place you're going to see it every day, and just start putting pictures on it. And I think what you're going to find is that very quickly, the things that you're seeing every day and the things that you're looking at every day, they start to become who you are. Because when you focus on them, it starts happening. The things that you start attracting, the people in your life, the resources in your life that you need to make those things come true. And it's really like Napoleon Hill says, what you think about, you bring about. And I think what that really comes down to is that we're planting this thought in our subconscious, and then, when we're going through our daily lives, we remember that. We may not consciously remember that, but it helps us to make decisions that are going to move us closer towards our goals.
Okay. Now, is there something that you should be doing while you're putting the board together? Like, should you be meditating on something, or should you be thinking about the future when you're doing it? Is there something that enhances the experience?
I do believe in meditation every day. I personally do meditate every morning and every night. I like to ideally be able to meditate for 30 minutes. If I can't, at least for 5 minutes, I will always do some type of meditation. But I actually like to look at my vision wall, and I like to repeat certain affirmations. And there's this one affirmation that I repeat every day, and this comes from an affirmation from Susan Sly, who is a woman I admire very much, and it says, I can be, do, and have anything I dream. And I do sometimes just look at my creation wall, and I remind myself of that. So I will repeat that to myself. Sometimes, many times, I'll sit there and just say it until it becomes true for me that day, and just realizing that this is not just some sort of vision. This is not like a pretty picture of what I think my life ideally would look like. No, this is what I'm creating. This is what my life is going to look like. And, you need to approach your vision board with the mindset of this is what my life is going to look like. And you have to believe it. I can put up a picture on my wall. I have artwork. This is not artwork. This is not something to entertain yourself. You're not looking at this because you think it looks pretty. You're looking at this because every decision that you're going to take, every moment of every day is going to be working towards making this come true.
Wow, that is awesome. Now, when we're talking about affirmations, what exactly is an affirmation? Tell the audience that may not know.
An affirmation for me is anything that helps me to believe that I am worthy, that I am capable, that I deserve this, I love this, that I'm loving. And, it helps me to get closer to my goals. So I have a lot of affirmations, like, all over the place. So I actually wrote down 7 affirmations I keep by my computer, and I'll read them to you because I'm looking at them. They say, I'm loved by everyone I meet. I am quickly becoming debt-free because that's something I'm working towards. One of them says, I was created perfectly in the image of God because that's something that I believe in. One says, I'm a powerful creator and in control of my own destiny. One says, I see myself the way God sees me. One says, I'm going to finish a marathon. One says, I'm easily earning and the amount of money that I have decided I want to earn this year with my home business. One of them says, I'm endless potential, which comes from a meditation from Deepak Kapoor. So these are all things that, are helping me to get closer to my goal and helping me really to believe in me. And I think that oftentimes we get in our own way and doubt comes into our mind, and that really prevents us from really accomplishing what we want to accomplish. And I think doubt is probably one of the most insidious things that we can possibly have or really experience, because that doubt just permeates the fact that we're working towards our goals and towards our dreams. So that is my way of really pushing that doubt out and reminding myself that I can. So each one of us, we have this voice in our head. And, this voice is telling us, whether we realize it all the time, that this is that voice of doubt. It's that voice that kind of tries to convince us that what we're doing is unworth it. It says, oh, you know what, you really can't do that. Why do you think you can do this? Just because other people did it. You know what, they were better than you. You know what, they had a better upbringing than you. You know what, they know more than you. You're not as smart as them. You're not as attractive as them. You can't do that. And I bet that if we really, really think, if we really are honest, all of us at some point are having those thoughts in our mind every day. And that's kind of just our reaction. It's not something that we're deliberately doing. But if we are deliberately planting positive voices inside of our head, then in our subconscious, the voice will change. And instead of, saying I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I couldn't, I say, you know what, get rid of that apostrophe T. I can, I will, and I am. And that's really what affirmations are for me. They just kind of get rid of that apostrophe T, they get rid of that voice that says I can't, and help you to understand that, yes, I can. Because when you believe you can, you will.
Wow, that is awesome. I was introduced to affirmations about a year or so ago when I really got into motivation. And a few yesterday on one of my Facebook pages, and they kind of along the lines of yours as well. I will go ahead and share. I love myself. I acquire knowledge easily. My wealth is steadily increasing. I glow with confidence. I am recognized for my ability. My opportunities are abundant, and my family is happy. And they ended with, I am grateful for all of this. You know,
Yes.
if you're not grateful for what you have, it can be taken away. And so as the stuff manifests, we need to be grateful for each and every step. It may start off a little rocky, but be happy for the rockiness, because that's the test that's going to bring you to the testimony in the end, so that you'll be able to help other people with your story. And then they will be motivated to do to their best potential. See, that is what affirmations do for me. What do you think about that, Jessica?
Yeah, I think that's just, I love it. I love just being grateful and gratitude. And, gratitude to me is very important. I do have a gratitude journal I write in every single night. And when you are grateful for the things around you, when you express that, and when you force yourself to look at what is good in your life, what you realize is that there's just so many things to be grateful for. There's so many things to be thankful for. And it changes your mindset because you approach life differently. When you focus on the negative, when you focus on what you don't have, you will continue to attract negative and you will continue not to have. But when you focus on what is good and when you focus on the gifts, you will continue to receive. And that's really what I love about being really just putting gratitude into the world. And if you're grateful for someone, let them know. Tell them that you are grateful for them. I write cards that I send to my friends or to my family members all the time and just say, I'm grateful for you. I love you. You're my friend. And I just want to tell you that I am so grateful for you. I've actually sent cards to authors of books that I've read that I've really loved, and I said, listen, I just want to tell you I am so grateful that you published this book because it made a difference for me. And when you experience the world with an attitude of gratitude, then things change, and you start to really realize that the world becomes a better place. And the world is what you make it out to be. If you want to view the world as something that's mean and harsh and cruel, well, that's the reality that you're going to live. But if you really look around and you see love and you see this wonderful place, well, that will be your experience.
See, that is awesome. I think I found a few affirmations that people could say while they're building their board, and you can tell me if I'm on the right track, okay? One is, I am willing to share love. I am open to new opportunities. Money will come to me easily. My inner light shines brightly. My unique talents uplift the world. The next move will reveal itself, and I'm surrounded in happiness. And then, of course, I always end it with, I'm grateful for this. So as you're building that board and you're saying these things, it's just talking about your future, building a brighter future, building a stronger future, building a prosperous future. What do you think?
I love that, and I really like the fact that you're ending it with I'm grateful for, and again, to go back to that gratitude. But when you say, I am, all those things, they're all action verbs. I am creating. Money is flowing easily to me. That's happening now. And when you end that with, and I am grateful for this, it is like saying, you know what, this is going to happen. There is no possibility, there's no room for the fact that it won't happen. Because when you're saying I am grateful, it's signifying that it has already come to pass. So I really I love that. I love that all the affirmations are in action form, that they're all something that are currently happening. You're not saying money will come to me. You say, no, money is flowing to me easily. You're not saying, I am going to get light inside of me. You're saying, no, I have light inside of me, and I am thankful. So you're saying this is true. This is going to happen. So I think they're really great, and I think we should post them onto the website for everyone to look at. So after this call, by tomorrow morning, you'll be able to get those affirmations on the site, and I think they're wonderful.
Great, great. I mean, I'm thinking that if you put, from what I'm hearing from you, if you put action in front of the affirmation, you're basically sealing it. You declaring it. You making it so. So
right, and that's the difference between a vision. Yes, and that's the difference between a vision and a creation board. Because a vision board is saying, this is what I want to look like. The creation board is an action form. It's saying, I am making this happen, and I am doing it now, and these things are going to come to pass.
Okay, so I'm getting that we should have pictures of what we want to do, affirmations of what we want. What about quotes and, maybe maybe a song lyric or something that motivates us. Would that be appropriate for our vision board?
It is. I think so. I do, and I'm going to share the three quotes I have actually, and amazingly, and we didn't rehearse this or speak about this, but one of them is a song lyric, and two of them are quotes from the Bible. And I am, at the risk of offending any of our listeners who are not, I am a Christian woman. I put God first in my life. I love God. And, so on my vision board, I have, it is impossible to know God and not have love, for God is love. And that's something very important to me. And it helps me to realize throughout my entire day that the purpose of everything that I'm doing is that the person in my life, right, I am love, because God is love and God is inside of me. So my purpose in this world is to share love and spread love with other people. And that's that's what motivates me. And then the other quote that I have is, it profits a man not to gain the entire world but lose his soul. And that's something to me that's very important. On my creation board, there are pictures of things that I want to buy. There's pictures of shoes that I really like. There's a picture of a coat that I think is really attractive that I want to be able to have. There's a picture of a bike that I just would love to be able to purchase that right now I can't. And I want to be able to get all those things. But at the end of the day, I also remind myself every day when I look at this vision board, it profits a man not to gain the entire world but lose his soul. Because, I don't want to get those things. I don't want to attract wealth at the cost of, betraying my God, betraying other people, or really making, I want to do it in a way where I'm still projecting love. The song lyrics I have, it says, how beautiful when humble hearts give the fruit of pure life so others may live. And that comes from the song How Beautiful from Twila Paris. And that quote reminds me to always give back, so that, when I'm looking at what I am creating, whether or not it's my money or my time, I believe in tithing, both income and time. So if I devote 40 hours a week to my career, well, then I believe that I should give back at least 4 hours of my time in service and love and gratitude for the ability to have worked, or for, and to really just show appreciation for what I do have. So those are the three things I look at. And I think it's important to every one of us that we do understand why, what is it that is motivating us, and really kind of reel us back in. And I do think that quotes are an amazing way to do that.
That is great. Jessica, thank you so much for coming up with this topic on creation boards. I think that the information that you gave today is really going to help somebody who is getting ready to make that career transition or that life transition, and just really needs to see the visual to make it plain and then to execute. Because once we see the vision, then we'll be able to make it plain. That's something that I've always thought. You have to have some kind of plan, some kind of way. You can't just go flying by the seat of your pants. One way or the other, you got to know something that you got to know a clear vision. So next week, I'm thinking that maybe we could talk about that, finding that purpose, finding that plan for your life. That would be an awesome topic, because a lot of us haven't really found that plan yet. We may know our passion, but we don't know how to set it into motion. Do you remember when you first found your plan for your life?
I do. I remember the exact moment I found my plan for my life, and I look forward to talking about it next week with our listeners. But I'm going to leave you guys in suspense to now, and just end this call for this evening. But I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and the recording of this call will be on our website, changingmindsonline.com, and also on Blog Chat Radio. And thank you for calling in, and I look forward to sharing with you next week when I found my vision and what my vision is. And I look forward to, Dakina, to hearing your vision and how you found your vision.
Yes, I look forward to it as well. Thank you for listening to the Changing Minds online show with Jessica and Akina, and we look forward to talking to you next week, same time, same place. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. God bless and have a great night.